Hey guys, Crewman here, and let me tell you about the ASIC that I lost a ton of money on after a word from today's video sponsor. Thank you to Crypto Miner Bros for sponsoring today's video. So if you're like me, then your power rate is just way too high for GPU mining. It's just frankly not viable anymore. And the same could be said for most ASICs. These days, an ASIC needs to be one or two things. It needs to be reasonably costed, or it needs to do something besides just mining crypto to be viable as a home miner. So Crypto Miner Bros has you covered on both those fronts. Their prices are shipped right to your door, so there are no hidden or unexpected fees. My personal favorite ASICs right now are the DG1 Home and the Canaan Avalon Mini 3 Bitcoin miner. And finally, I also like the BitAxe 601 as it's a neat gift to give yourself or a family member that gives you a chance to gamble a few bucks away in power costs per year for a very, very, very microscopic chance to win a BTC block. Don't forget to use the code KRUTMAN, K-R-0-0-T-M-A-N, for $70 off your next order. So thank you again to Crypto Miner Bros for sponsoring today's video, and if you're interested in buying ASICs, please go ahead and check them out and tell them Crewman sent you. And I'm back in the old crypto shed. We've got a ton of changes coming to this shed in a few weeks now. I almost have them official. I'll share that in a later date. But what I want to tell you about, I'm down to one, maybe two ASICs that I'm selling. The jasminer and the Bombax. I don't even know if I'm selling the Bombax. I just sold the Gold Shell Echo a few days ago. Anyway, point of this story, I want to talk about this jasminer. This ASIC represents probably my personal greatest failure in terms of ASICs. Not all of it's my fault, but what I think this video is, why I think this video is important, is it's going to show you how in 2025, if you're going to buy ASICs, you need to manage your expectations and buy them for the right reasons. Now, this isn't me telling you not to buy ASICs. Hell, this video sponsors Crypto Miner Bros, where you can buy ASICs, but you need to buy them for the right reasons. Now, let me tell you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I bought this jasminer in the summer or in the winter of 2023. My first CES 20 jasminer X16Q. I actually got my hands on it right before it arrived at my house. Like, I got to see it at CES and arrived at my house. I mined on it for basically almost 2 years. I got incredibly close to breaking even. I got about 3/4 of the way there. Now, had I sold my Octaspace at the time, I would have been just fine. I have mined a few $100s in Ethereum Classic on this, so it's not a total loss. But what happened was I put it all on TradeOgre because I was going to sell it when it went up. And it's gone. Because right now there's an issue with TradeOgre and we can't get to it, so it's gone. Which means everything I mined with this thing is gone. So I'm out my initial purchase. So basically, I paid $2,000 for this ASIC, right? And I lost about, I don't know, $1,800 in Octaspace when it was at its height. I don't know what it was worth when I lost it. And that's assuming I lost it. And I have this ASIC that I think I could probably sell this thing for maybe $600-700, I guess. But that's not the point, right? I mean, yes, I am going to lose money on this thing no matter what I do, assuming I sell it for maybe $600-700. But what I'm getting at is you should be buying ASICs for the right reason. Let me give you an example, okay? This is the Avalon Mini 3 from Canaan, all right? They sent me this, so I didn't buy it. But if you were going to buy this thing, you would buy it as a heater. And frankly, I have been using this all summer as a heater. This thing has been incredibly useful. It's basically been keeping my shed from getting too humid, as it's basically this and my DG1 Home that I've been running. And this hasn't been running all the time, basically just when it rains. But the point is, you would buy this, right? I think it's like $700-800 right now as a heater. It's an expensive heater that you can mine Bitcoin while you're using it. So basically, you buy it and you're not paying for power because you mine Bitcoin and you either sell the Bitcoin or you hold the Bitcoin, right? So if I had bought this, I wouldn't have cared how long it would take to ROI because I'm not buying this thing to ROI, because long after this thing isn't profitable, it will still mine something and it's generating you heat. And frankly, at high power and low power, it generates heat comparable to a regular heater. So it's not like you're wasting your money buying this thing, because you're not buying it with expectations of ROIing in a year or 2 or even 3. Like when I bought this, I was planning on ROIing in close to a year. I didn't get that far, and it ended up taking a lot longer to get 75% of the way there. And I didn't want to sell because at that point, you know, it's just a waste of money. Like if you sell to break even on something like this, then you're just wasting your time and your money. So you shouldn't be buying an ASIC because it has a 2-year ROI or a 1-year ROI. Because as we know, and I have 2 AL0s somewhere in my garage that explain this, that you will never break even if you sell really fast. Those days are long gone. Essentially what you have to do is you have to buy an ASIC, you have to sit on the coin, you have to mine, sit on it for a while and hope it goes up. And then you have your hardware. But like some of these ASICs get invalidated so fast, like those little Ice River ASICs, they get invalidated so fast, they're a waste of money, and don't buy them. And I will never recommend buying one of those again. But another ASIC which I did not pay for, full transparency, I did pay for this one however, the DG1 Home. This ASIC is great. You buy it, it's a home heater, right? Like this is actually staying in my shed after the big news when I eventually share it. So like you buy this and it mines Doge and it's a heater, okay? So it has dual purposes. Like you're not buying this thing to make sure you break even. You're buying it because it's a heater that can mine you Doge, right? And at, you know, like $1,000, I think it was like, I don't know, I think it was like $1,200 when it came out. It's not that bad. Like something like this is a home miner. You know, I would say about 600 to 800 watts is the max. Like I think that one and probably this one are about the max that I would want to buy for a home. Now obviously you can do more depending if you have 240, if you're in Europe, you know, all that depends. But what I'm trying to tell you is the days of buying an ASIC just because it's an ASIC are over. It has to do something else. It has to either generate heat or I guess be a speaker in the case of the full miner that just came out. But anyway guys, I think this is an important video to see because I'm not telling you to never buy ASICs again. I think they're worth buying, but as a home miner, they have to provide some kind of value that will make them relevant when they are no longer profitable, which this ASIC and the DG1 Home up there give you. Anyway guys, thank you to Crypto Miner Bros for sponsoring this video. You can buy cheap at-home ASICs from them. And guys, be vigilant and don't fear buy anymore. If something goes up in price, just don't buy it anymore. No more fear buying. We are done fear buying ASICs. Alright guys, that's it for this one, and let this be a lesson to you all. Don't make the same mistake I did and buy an ASIC solely because it will make you money. Alright guys, that's it. Peace out.